Top of the morning, top of the morning. Oh, yes, we're back. Oh, yes. Welcome back to the channel. Again, I told you we're going to get away a little bit from the everyday fight with the modern woman. We know the issues are endless. You see the endless TikToks, Instagram. You see all of this. There's nothing more really to discuss. But I am going to get into today is the war crimes of America and your replacements. I was watching Anton Daniel stream, and I touched on the immigrant situation, but I actually came across the numbers, and I think he referenced a YouTuber by the name of Cash Jordan, and he stated that there were 120,000 homeless students. I'm not sure if it's just specifically students, but it was 120,000 people homeless in New York City due to the recent immigrant surge. And that's why I always say what I've also come to understand is that the media, the entertainment, etc., in which we consume is not aligned with us. Your celebrities, they're not aligned with you. Certain celebrities will speak against injustice, yeah, but if you look at the mass, what are the majority of celebrities doing on the internet with all the Hamas and everything that's taking place around the world? What are they giving you? Bullshit. Blueface mom. Oh, he wanted to sleep with me as a baby. Like, we must understand the works at play. Hollywood, the entertainment sector, all of that is in the bed. They're in the same bedroom as the small hats that are causing all of this havoc, or in the center of all of this havoc around the world. Hamas, Ukraine, Israel, Palestine. There are two common denominators here. If you notice this? You notice in the wars around the world, you notice how there is no African-based military, South American-based military involved in this, because they don't get anything to gain, because they already have the resources in their native lands. You see, there's always two people in these world wars that have been going on since the inception of this land. So now what you have here is that, let's look at this homeless crisis in New York City, where you got this incompetent, and I wouldn't say incompetent, he's just reading a script. With the population in New York City being as high as it has been over the last, let's say 10 to 15, 20 years, why would there be a strategic plan to bus immigrants from way south of the border and bypass all of these states that have nothing but open land, such as Idaho, South Dakota, Montana? Why would these immigrants be bused all the way to New York City, Chicago, Denver, etc., when you already have a homeless population and a homeless crisis at hand, and especially in New York City? I pointed this out. So these are your replacements. You think these immigrants and these people are just being able to just freely come across the border, giving sanctuary, giving work permits, housing, vouchers, etc., especially if they're, let's take them away. Let's go to the Ukrainian immigrants. You watch these people on Fresh and Fit, these women coming all the way from Ukraine straight to fucking Miami. No skill set, no job, no nothing. Thousands of dollars to live like a fucking king and a queen. These chicks on here telling you they're from Ukraine, but end up in the heart of Miami, one of the top highest places to live in the country. Scot-free. Your replacements are here. You have all of the black and brown communities left in ruin, poverty, crime-ridden areas because of the lack of resources. See, people try to make it a mindset thing. This is one thing I will always push back on. You'll have someone who has not gone or experienced anything that you've experienced or seen, etc., or thoroughly researched until you or them, they just need to get over it. It's not that bad. Now, that comes with the power of choice to overcome and persevere, but that is not going to be in the spirit of most who come from a poverty-stricken environment. So you can't tell someone to just get over it and just push through. But I also can't give them too many excuses now, can I? You see how we're caught in between that sandwich and that wedge? You have 120,000 people homeless in New York City, and a lot of them being students and a lot of them being children. The average cost of rent, I looked it up yesterday. It was researched or last documented in September of this year. The rent was between $4,400 and $7,200. That was the median amount of rent, or the median rent that you would pay in New York City. Now you have to make this make sense. How do you have a homeless population and a rent rate such as $4,500 and have any fucking questions about it? What the fucking rent is the rent is $50,000 a year. The average person doesn't make $50,000. The median income is like 52 and 56. Okay. Even if we put it around there, that's 90% of your income going toward living in an apartment that you will never own, never have any equity in. Yet this is legal. The Pentagon just failed a $3.8 trillion audit, but the IRS is looking at me getting $6,000 on Cash App. Huh? What? I'm going to say it again. The Pentagon failed a $3.8 trillion audit, but the IRS is worried about you getting a little $600 under the door. Make it make sense. These are war crimes being committed upon your education systems failing. Public education was never designed to educate your child. When you look at the broad scheme of things. Yet we have too many lazy fucking parents depending on systems that are meant to fail your child because you want some extra time to bullshit. The bullshitting age is over with. Not even just the age, the mindset, the era in which we bullshitted all day, every day, that is over with. Well, it's over with for me. I can't speak for the next man. But the parents are to blame. The parents. Yes. Once you become a parent and you decide to bring a life into this world, all that fuck shit you used to do is null and void. You got kids sleeping on the street. You have parents constantly reproducing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 kids and can't even take care of the first one. But because we have Medicaid and we have certain programs, WIC, etc., they're going to get they're going to get stipend and get incentives to create bastards or to create unstable homes, hoping and praying the system picks up my fucking slack. Your replacements are here. Because what you must understand about economics and capitalism, in order for capitalism to reign, there must be an underclass in which the capitalist stands on the shoulders and Proust gauge. You see, America is responsible for almost 80 to 90% of the wars that you've seen around the world. How does a country stay in war from the inception of it until present day? Talking about freedom and liberty, but killing millions around the world every year. Has the craziest prison industrial complex you will ever see. These are war crimes. And no one is coming to save you. No one. The economics that you have been taught is incorrect. Consume, 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 consume. There's no way Jordan should be making the amount of money he's making. There's no way. Concerts sold out, $500 a ticket. There's no way. When our education systems in the black community look the way they do. When our communities look the way they do. When our children are running a fucking muck. Do you see these robberies around the world, the looting? Do you see this? Where are the fucking parents? I'm going to do a video about these agendas and programs. I think I want to say executive from Disney. And this is why I'm pretty much have gotten away from anything dealing with Marvel. A Disney exec stated they want to have 50% of their characters be LBGT whatever Q. 50% of its characters, when 50% of the population is not LBGTQ. So what does that tell you? Your ass better wake the fuck up. I know you want to stay asleep. I know you want to stay in the basement. I know you want to run and live in shame, but you cannot operate in that manner. Shout out to Minister Jap. He called this out. The baby boomers, the old heads, the uncles, and Charleston White, the bullshitters. Y'all got to get the fuck out the way. No, y'all don't have no game to give the young generation, the millennials, the Gen Z. You have no game or information that is applicable to today. Get the fuck out the way. Go clean some shit up, cut some grass, and wash some cars. You have no information for us today. How do we have an 80-year-old senile narcoleptic president in office, falling asleep in meetings, doing ghost handshakes with people that are not there? How? Now you have these people regretting, I'm mad I voted for Biden. Anybody but Trump, because Trump said this about the Mexicans. Shut the fuck up. The blind leading the blind is always. And it's getting tired. It's old. The baby boomers, if you're over 55, it's nothing you can say or do. Get the fuck out the way. You've done enough. You done enough. Get the fuck out the way. It is ridiculous to see old ass women, because it's usually women, on social media as if they have anything to input or include that's of value. Any wisdom of that. You're just trying to keep up or distract yourself from your life because you hate it. I see my old ass relatives on. What the fuck are you doing here? Besides being nosy and trying to keep up. There's a war going on. In your house and outside of it. You need to fight. And not fight literally, but fight mentally and with other actions that will at least push that next generation forward just a little bit. The world as you see next year is going to be totally different from 2021 and 2022 and this year, 2023. They're terraforming the economic platform in America, as well as the geographic platform. How do you have all of these immigrants bust in daily with money to give as soon as they get here, all the way from Ukraine, and they get to pick and choose. I want to go to Miami. Okay, here's 180,000. Meanwhile, you have people begging and pleading for resources, not money, but just the resources. And we can do whatever we want to with that. Your enemy is not your savior. And we are the only fools on this earth. If you identify as African American or foundational Black, whatever you want to label it, we're the only fools on this planet that think we don't have enemies. And not to harp on the Israel and Palestinian war, because that's not our fight. Neither one of them give a fuck about black folks. Let's be clear. Neither one. But we must pay attention to how that, because there's always residual effects from war, just like it's residual effects from success and other things that take place. But I'm not going to harp on it too long. Again, your replacements are here. This country is guilty of war crimes, but who's going to hold them accountable? Or are they going to turn a blind eye the same way they did P. Diddy? You look at his last birthday post, all the happy birthdays and all of this shit. But now, because he's a demon on the red seat, now we hate him now. Man, people been knowing about Puff. Why the fuck he got 10,000 comments on Instagram and majority of them from bitches? If he's the demon and such a monster to bitches, why are they filling his comments up with happy birthdays and praises and 100 emojis when he dressed up like the Joker and Batman on Halloween? This is the most hypocritical nation on the planet. But that's my take on it. You guys let me know what you think. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. It's the Dave Master.